Yeah, I dislike your video a lot more than I would have liked to dislike it, but again, you're still coming with your own position, your whole understanding that you're either a religious person or you're a rational person. Um, this is your brand of religion. Okay, this is my brand of religion, and on rationale. So you realize that think to yourself how many religious communities, how many Christian communities, how many Christian churches, how many Catholic churches are actually going to give money to the cause. And because of the fact they have a deeper connection with a broader base of people, that they're going to get more money because of just because of that. So as rationale, the fact that having a Christian community will allow you to have a deeper connection or a quicker connection, a more effective connection, bringing aid to the people in Japan. And the whole rationale idea, like you showed a building shake. I have yet to see a video of a shaking building that is just looking at a shaking building. Okay, you had a previous picture of a, what am I going to say? Fucking not a proposal, a prototype. You have a prototype of a building, so on and so forth. All right, cool. They put it into use, and good job for them. I mean, not necessarily my Christian belief go against it. It's not like you're a Christian. You're like, we should never prepare. We're on the ring of fire. We should never prepare for an earthquake because of the fact that we're going to pray instead. Where's the rationale with that conclusion? I mean, really, do you think Christians do that? The girl that you put in the video, okay, I see it, I hear it. I'm not necessarily degrading her faith. If the earthquake hit on Lent, then the earthquake hit on Lent. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm not hating on it. It may happen or it did happen, and she believes what she wants to believe. If her faith is strong because of it, I'm not necessarily saying anything about it. I'm not necessarily saying that the churches should be filled with people like that, but hey, do what you do. But seriously, the rationale versus religion argument, no. In a religion, you can still have the ability, if you're in a religion, you still have the ability to have a level of understanding. To say that your brain gets cuts off here because of the fact that you're in a religion is moronic. It really is. You can have empathy, and I made a comment on the Amazing Atheist video. You can have empathy, so on and so forth. Amazing Atheist pretty much said empathy connects to your level of morality. So in his terminology, which I do agree with to some degree, that empathy to a certain degree allows a person to have the ability to understand another person's position, so on and so forth. And I guess I don't want to make this about morality right now, but the level of empathy, so on and so forth, that people in the churches will feel, people who are Christians, Buddhists, so on and so forth, people who give money to causes, so on and so forth, are going to feel a level of empathy. Do you think people are going to be sitting down, Christians are going to be watching a person come up, and the rationale is going to be, get somebody in Japan to help out, and the rationale is going to be, you know what, instead of me actually giving money to help, I'm going to pray. Like, how many people do you think you're going to do? There's going to be a lot of people to do it, but there's going to be also a great amount of people who are in a religion, who are Christian, who give direct money to Japan. I mean, it's... I don't know. Maybe this is a weak argument. Maybe I'm not presenting it in the best manner that I can. But I just lost my train of thought. I guess I could put it best like this: to think that a person who is in a religion does not have any foresight is moronic. I mean, Newton. Professor Anton used Newton as an example, but I thought it was a pretty good example. Newton was in a religion. Newton had greater foresight than most of... Newton was, at a point in time, and still is today, considered one of the greatest scientists of history. Just of history. You can't say that he didn't have a rationale. If you want to say Newton didn't have any rationale, then you have to kind of throw out his whole understanding. Like Newton's law, just throw that shit out. He had no rationale because he was in a religion. Newton wasn't rationale at all. He was just religious. Your argument is so fucking weak, and I don't want to say I'll continually bombard you on it, but your shit's weak. Your whole idea, your mind's either on religion, this is your mind on religion, and this is your mind on rationale. Did Newton have two different minds? Like, Newton working on religion, so on and so forth, was like this. But Newton's rationale was like this. But Newton was still in religion, so it was like this, There's gonna be fucking dumbass, ignorant people on all sides of the fucking aisle. There's gonna be atheists that are moronic as fuck. Guaranteed, if atheists had allowed a speakerphone, like we want to talk about media access, so on and so forth. If atheists had as a big of a speakerphone as religious people do, so on and so forth, guaranteed we would be hearing some extreme ass fucking atheists. And if you have any disagreement, you Thunderfoot have no fucking logical rationale whatsoever. I guarantee you there's a lot of ignorant fucking atheists out there that have a limited perspective. And to say that it's just like it's like you're the religious, this is your brain on religion, this is your brain on rationale. Or maybe you're doing yourself a favor and changing your argument, saying the society isn't like a religion rationale. It's like a person's mind on religion and then a person's mind on rationale. Two completely different subjects. Maybe you're changing your argument. If you are, good job, because your first argument was it was worthless. But even then, a religious person can still have a rationale mind. It's not like a religious person looks at what you presented like, yeah, so they live like, that's like a person living on Tornado Alley, you know, having a stronger house. Like, was the person who thought about, you know, him living on Tornado Alley, so on and so forth, you know, had a deeper sense of rationale when he decided to get a better house? Or how about this, you know, how about a person who's in religion like, you know what, God, if I'm living here, I'm going to get a stronger house, and it's going to help me, so on and so forth. There is that type of rationale. It's just not the general type what you hear with prayer. Prayer is you personally asking God to intervene in some way in your life. But how many people prayed in Japan, or how many people prayed in Japan like, God, if there's ever a tsunami, just never let there be a tsunami or earthquake? How many, like, I'm sure there's people that do that, but really, I could think about so many people praying for that. I guess, I mean, prayer, I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. Rationale, regardless, is anybody who's logical. If you're in religion, if you're not in religion, I think I came to a weaker point right there that I could have made stronger, but I just got into the sense of prayer, and yeah. People don't pray. People pray for their stuff personally, just like people think for rationale personally. If you're thinking on the macro scale, you're going to have a deeper understanding, deeper perception of what's going on. If you think on a micro scale, then your whole perception of anything, regardless of your religious rationale or just regular rationale, is going to be more micro-oriented. I do think atheists in Japan were like, you know what? What you know, I want to ask you this. What do you think these, you know, micro Japanese atheists were sitting there like, there's going to be a tsunami tomorrow. There's going to be a tsunami 2 years from now, so on and so forth. I need to get, you know, a boat, so on and so forth. What's the rationale for that? You know, you think and you act. There is no rationale for that. It's a natural disaster. That's their government doing that. Do you think there is just one person out of the whole fucking Japanese country that, you know, out of all the fucking houses around them just decided that, you know what? I'm going to earthquake-proof my house. Because no one else did that. I'm going to earthquake-proof my house. I guarantee there may have been one person or two. Guarantee is a low fucking number. Even regardless if they're atheist or Christian or fucking, I forget the religion in Japan, but regardless of any of that shit, do you honestly think that person did it? Just earthquake-proof their house when no one else around the neighborhood was doing it? That's a rational state of mind. You know, we live on the fire line. Let's earthquake-proof our house. Guarantee that shit didn't happen in a large fucking scale. So my rationale is you take something the government did, so on and so forth, and you kind of condense it to the mindset of the people. You're looking at a micro state of mind, whether it's a religious person's idealism or connection with a religion. It's a micro stance, saying that this is my life and this was what religion or set of beliefs I'm going to connect myself to, and then you take it and you compare it with a macro understanding of a government. Your fucking argument's weak. It really is. I go more into it, but I think I hit the best points here. Deuces, again, religious rationale. They're not disconnected ideas necessarily. The certain people that are involved in these religions, so on and so forth, may have a disconnection with the rationale, but it doesn't mean the religious ideas and the religious understanding, so on and so forth, have a disconnection with rationale. Prayer, to a certain degree, allows people to take themselves away from this personal position to which they're put in, and allows them to move on and deal with the shit that they can control. Like, you're looking, you can't get why there's so many reasons that why what you're saying has so many things that's just wrong with. Like, you're just wrong on a lot of levels. Other levels, you don't see the whole picture. I'll just say that. You don't see the whole fucking picture. And I think it's because you believe what you believe and you're so strongly held to your belief. I mean, when did I once say something about Christianity? I was like, it's just Christianity like this. Christianity's right. I don't do that. I don't see things from just one point of view. And I don't want to be so fucking arrogant that I say you do, but your last video really did seem like that. And again, I sound arrogant, but at the cost of me sounding arrogant, I will stick to that point. Deuces, peace, respect, help Japan. A lot of people suffering over there. If you got any money to give it. See how you can help, have a more effective ability to help. I'm sure there's a lot of different communities that are willing to help. Just Google it. I'm sure you're going to find a lot of stuff out there. All right, peace.